Hi, welcome to my video series, my ongoing series about my open heart surgery and my recovery. Thank you so much for following along. My name's Todd. Really appreciate the support. If you're new to the channel and new to the series, please check out the first video, which will give you a little bit of background on the surgery and why I needed to have it done. In this particular video, we're going to talk about surgery day plus 3. So this is my 4th day in hospital. The previous video, we talked about surgery day plus 2. And how that was a really important day in my recovery, exponential improvement in my health. This day is the last day I'm in hospital. All the goodies get taken off and I get to go home. So let's get into all the cold poop and talk about the good things that happen. So at the end of the last surgery day plus 2, the third day, or the third day I'm there, I go to bed. The night nurses are there, and I'm watching Ghost Adventures on TV, and they're in some kind of abandoned hospital, which is probably the dumbest thing I could have ever watched. In the hospital was some guys that are looking for ghosts in an abandoned hospital. But I still ended up watching that for a while, and it was. It's just stupid. I'm an idiot sometimes, but I was feeling really good, so I felt like nothing could go wrong at that point. I did have another lapse of pain management stupidity, meaning being an idiot when it came to telling the nurses when to give me pain medicine at that point. So in the middle of the night, I woke up and I was shaking. I had a little too much pain going on, and instead of calling for the nurse, I just kind of sat there and suffered like a dumbass and waited until they came and took care of me. But when they did, I vowed that was the last time, and so far that has been the last time. What was really cool is this, as opposed to the night before where they kept coming in and I kept waking up and having to do stuff. It seemed like this time they were trying to let me sleep, let me get some good solid rest in. And they still had to come in and do the hourly vitals or insulin tests for the blood sugar, but they were really, they were basically like tiptoeing in, trying to be really quiet. And I'd just be kind of half awake, half asleep when they came in, and it was really cool. It made me even feel better, like I was really doing a good job. The whole night I was there, that whole night, I didn't feel the external heart rate monitor or the pacemaker kick on at all. So I knew that was a good sign. I probably wouldn't have to. I would be able to have that removed the next day. So the nurses took care of me, did a great job that night, and very early in the morning, they removed my insulin drip. So I no longer had to get the fingers pricked. And I said earlier in one of the videos that didn't bother me so much because the thing they used wasn't so bad. At this point, every hour on the hour I was getting my fingers pricked, and I had bruises, and they were hitting the bruises, and it's not fun. I mean, it's kind of hurts at this point because they're bruising bruises and stuff like that. But that was awesome to see them remove the insulin drip and say, you know what, no more. We're done with this. They still came in and did some vital tests the rest of the morning while they were there. So after that's done, all I have in me at this point are just IV catheters, one in each arm. That's the only thing that's really, and the external pacemaker. Those are the only things that are in me, on me, attached to me at this point, really. So that's good news. In the morning, they got me into my chair. The doctor herd comes moving along, and they said they're going to remove the pacemaker. Since there was no, the pacemaker didn't kick on during the night, it was safe to remove it. And actually, the PA who had removed the chest tubes the day before, she was in the herd, and hey, how's it going? Good to see you again. And she said, yeah, we're gonna take that pacemaker out today. So I was really excited about that. And shortly after they left, got my breakfast. I started eating, had a big, eggs and potatoes and all that kind of stuff, kind of breakfast, juice and fruit. And I've never been so hungry for like a fruit cup in my entire life, but it was great. And about halfway through breakfast, a nice guy comes rolling in and he asked my name and everything, and he was there to take me down to get a chest x-ray. So I had to get up and kind of get on this gurney thing, and the only thing I'm really carrying with me at this point is the pacemaker. So I got this box I'm kind of walking around like old school 80s little mini boombox kind of thing. So I'm holding it on there. He's got me in the gurney and he takes off. I mean, it's still kind of early. It's probably like 8 or so in the morning, or maybe 8:30, and he's flying through the hospital. So nobody's really walking around at that point. This is a Saturday morning, and we get, every time we get to like a seam in the linoleum floors, he's trying to let me know that it's that it's gonna be a bump, and I just brace myself. And he'd always say, "Bumpy, bumpy, bump," and then go over the bump. That makes me laugh every time I say that. Bumpy, bumpy, bump. So man, it was cool. He was a really nice guy, and we get down to the X-ray cavern, which is basically like this cave, and there are all these techs, and I guess maybe a couple doctors in there, and they're just sitting in the kind of a back room looking at stuff, and they're all drinking big cups of coffee, and they look over and they see me roll in. I'm probably like the first one on the docket for the day, to get the X-rays done. So I get up out of the bed and I have to take 2 X-rays, full chest X-rays, one facing full on, and I gotta lean to the side and put my arms up a little bit, which is a little difficult to do at this point. I'm still kind of getting motion back and everything. And they take the X-ray, and the guy who was helping me out was this really big guy. I'm pretty sure he was prior service military. I mean, you can tell those guys the way they walk and carry themselves, and really nice guy, and just down to earth. And I told him thanks again for taking care of me. He's like, "No problem, bro. Have a good one. Good luck." And I get on the gurney, and they took me back upstairs. And I think the X-rays, they're checking to see if there's any fluid still building up in the area in your lungs or in the chest cavity. That's a really big deal for them. So I was cool with that. Irradiate the heck out of me. I don't care. Get back upstairs and get back in my chair. Get to finish some breakfast, and I get a visit from this group called Mended Hearts. And this is actually the second time. I think on the second day, the day after I had the surgery, I had these folks come in and visit me. And basically, it's like a non-profit support group kind of thing. That's all the members are people who have had heart surgery. And I think they're nationwide, and this is the local chapter where I live, and they're just coming to see how you're doing, and they talk to you and kind of give their own experience and ask how you're feeling, and they invite you to come come to their support groups where you just kind of hang out and talk about stuff and be happy to hear my story, and it maybe be helpful to hear other people's story. And one of the things they gave me was this sweet little pillow, because every time you do something, you move or you get up, you have to use this pillow and brace it against your chest. I failed to mention that earlier, but it's a really important thing, and I'm still kind of using it today. But whenever you have to get up, you have to press against it. When you're using the spirometer, it makes you cough, or if you drink or eat. At least for me, it happens. Whenever I eat, after I'm done, I have to start coughing. It feels like I got like I'm congested. And it's good to cough. You're supposed to control the cough, but this helps you do it, and it helps to keep me. It hurts when you cough, but this helps from it hurting too much. So they gave me this free pillow. It's really kind of cool, and they're really big on coming to the support group meeting. So I think once I get up up to speed, I'm able to drive myself around in a couple weeks. I'll go and check it out. I told them, I said that I was doing this vlog, and the first 2 people who came to visit me the day after surgery were really pumped about that. They asked for how to view it and all that kind of stuff. They said, "This is really great. This is something I think will be really beneficial. We're trying to get our chapter a little more modernized with some of our ways of doing stuff." So that was really neat to hear, and the fact that they were interested in the vlog was really cool. So hopefully, if you guys are watching, thanks for coming to visit me in the hospital. That was really awesome of you guys to do that, and I'll probably stop by once I get around on 4 wheels soon. So let's see, we had the X-ray, got the Mended Hearts folks came by, the chaplain from the hospital stopped by to see how I was doing. Just said, "You're on my list." Just came by to see how it's going. Everything was fine. He rolls out. Just lots of people come to see, just genuinely seem interested in how you're doing, which is. It's nice. It's important to accept support, and I have a hard time doing that. I'm kind of, like I said in an earlier video, I'm kind of like the one-man wolf pack kind of loner. I'm used to doing stuff for myself, but it's really important to understand that this kind of thing you can't do by yourself. You need a little help from your friends, right? Like the old song. But it's important to accept it, and you may feel uncomfortable doing that. You may feel like you owe a lot of people, and you do. I mean, I owe my parent. I can't pay back my parents for this kind of care that they provided me, but you can't say no. You got to do it, or else you really can't recover. So it was neat to have all those folks coming to kind of stop in. So as I'm waiting for my PA buddy to come back to take out the external pacemaker, the nurse who was on duty, really cool nurse who was originally from California, so she was really laid back too, and says, I want you to watch some videos from the hospital. They put these videos on about what to expect about your recovery and going home from the hospital. And videos are pretty good. I mean, they're informative. They're kind of cheesy, but it's a lot of stuff that's really intuitive and logical, and you think that makes total sense. That's what you're supposed to do. So did the video thing, and then my PA buddy comes back in. We move over to the bed, and it's time to take out the catheter, or not the catheter, the external pacemaker. I keep messing up that word. So she said, all right, pretty much the same kind of deal as we did with the chest tubes, except these little wires that are going up, and the leads are like attached somewhere around the pericardium, which is like a little sac around the heart, or they're on the heart. They're not sutured in or anything, so she's just basically gonna pull them out, and they're kind of in my chest over here. There's two wires. And you know what they kind of look like? It kind of looks like when you look on the back of like a little video game or a remote control, and you have like a 9-volt battery, and you got those two little wires that attach to the thing that attaches to the battery. It looks like those two little wires are what's sticking in you, but they're sutured in a little bit. So she kind of snips off some of the sutures, and I don't have to do the hold the breath thing for this stuff, but she says, all right, here we go, 1, 2, 3, boom, pulls them out. I didn't feel that at all. Nothing. I had no idea. I mean, so I'm like, so whenever you're ready. She's like, no, they're gone. You want to see? And I'm like, no, I don't want to. Yeah, I want to see. Show them to me. So just like the same thing with the chest tubes. So she's laughing at me again, and she shows me, and those things were long too, just as long as the chest tubes. I said, all right, that's enough. Don't show me that stuff again. And, you got another good laugh. She asked me if I knew what I was supposed to do with cleaning and stuff like that, and I said, yeah, the tech did a really good job yesterday showing me what I needed to do. Was good to go for that. She said, all right, for now we're just going to chill in bed for a while. We can't release you for about 4 hours after they remove the external pacemaker. So I was there for another 4 more hours. So it looked like I was going to be there until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I think, which is about the time I was going to leave. Gave me plenty of time to have the spiel from the nurse. She went through this whole packet of information, what stuff to do and stuff not to do. And I'll be honest with you, it's a lot of information, and I try really hard to focus and concentrate. I'm still on the pain pills. I'm still on pain medication at this point. So I'm not necessarily loopy, but I'm not necessarily in the full mind game either, just focused. But I try to stay focused and remember everything. They give you a big packet, a huge folder worth of information on cardiac therapy afterwards, and all the medications I was going to be taking and what to do at home and all that kind of stuff. I couldn't remember it hard. I remembered some of it by the time I left, but they give you a list of prescriptions. So they gave me a bunch of prescriptions to take, and the stuff I was going to take, a couple over-the-counter things. I was going to take aspirin, like 350 milligrams of aspirin a day. Since I'm not taking a blood thinner because it's a tissue valve, it's still important to take some kind of blood thinning agent. I'll probably be taking this for the rest of my life, but just some kind of aspirin tablet. They also had me get stool softeners because I'm also taking Oxycontin as my pain medicine, and that stuff kind of locks you up. So they want to make sure you keep things going. That's gross, I know, but like I said before, full disclosure. I'm also taking Lasix in a pill form, which is a diuretic. Again, diuretics make you pee to kind of get rid of fluids, any extra fluid that's built up. This particular one that I'm taking also kind of robs your body of magnesium, so I take a magnesium supplement with that. Those pills were going to be for 5 days after I got home. And the other medicine I was going to take is, I can't pronounce it right, but it's almedrone, which is a chemical heart rate regulator. So that's actually the same pill I took beforehand. If you saw the video, the Twas the Night Before Surgery video, the #2 video, and I'm talking about how I was sweaty and nasty and all that kind of stuff, and it felt kind of weird. I was on that same, it's the same medicine I took then. So I didn't feel the same side effects though as I did before surgery. So that's good. And that was going to be for 10 days. So at this point, the 4th day I'm in the hospital, I'm moving around pretty well. Everywhere that I've had something sticking, I'm swollen, just kind of sore. I'm bruised up, my arm is really bruised. I've got all these kind of nicks and scratches all over me where either a needle was in, or maybe, somebody, when they try to move me to something, somebody's nail caught me and kind of scratched me or whatever. It's not a big deal, but when you look over your body, you're going to see lots of pinpricks and holes and incisions and stuff like that. It's a little, you're like, geez, man, I'm a bloody mess, but it's not that bad. The really weird thing is that around all the incisions, so like on my leg where I had the femoral catheter, and then over the sternotomy, the skin around it is really numb because they're cutting through nerves. So everything's kind of numb, and you can't really feel too well. My right thigh, where the femoral incision was, is super numb, and still is. But that's fine. Also, on the femoral catheter site, I had a hematoma, which is it's like a blood clot or a bruise or something like that. But it's basically a bump underneath the incision. It was pretty big. It didn't hurt or anything like that. It hurt the first couple times moving in and out of bed. There was a little bit of discomfort. But at this point, I didn't really feel it. I knew it was there, but it didn't hurt or anything like that. So I got all my instructions for what I need to do. They called the wheelchair to come get me. I decided not to take a shower there. I just wanted to get home and do all that stuff there. I get in the car with my folks. I had to brace my chest against the seatbelt, so my mom had already taken my pillow home, so I just used their sweater and put the seatbelt in front of that, and I sat in the back seat, and it's about a 20-minute drive from the hospital to my apartment. So I rode home in the back, and then when you get to the bumps, it kind of hurts when you hit a pothole, and my pain medicine was kind of running out at that point. I was almost due for a new dose. So the only thing that I did, I kept doing, was just saying to myself, bump, big bump, big bump. Every time I see a pothole or some kind of bump coming up, I just do that and try to get through it. It wasn't bad, but when I got home, I just wanted to take a shower. I took about a 40-minute shower. It took forever to do that, and during that time, my dad was out. There's a giant pharmacy or a shopping store with a pharmacy in it across the street, so he went to get all my pills, and by the time I got out, he was back. I took a pain pill and got into bed, and it was tough getting into bed. It's kind of sore, and I took about a 3-hour nap. I mean, I was wiped, and I was so happy to just kind of lay down and sleep and not have my fingers pricked or somebody taking my temperature or putting the cuff on my arm or anything like that. And that is the end of my hospital stay and the beginning of my home stay. So the next video I do, I'll talk about, it's been about 2 weeks at this point since I've been home, and since I've had the surgery, it's been about a little over 2 weeks since I've had the surgery, almost 3 weeks. So I'll do another video today or tomorrow and talk about what's been going on since I've been home. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this is helping you out, or you're getting a chance to see how everything's going with me. And thanks for all the support, and I'll see you soon. Take care, guys. Thank you.